Okay, so it's Cat Stanley Space Demon coming at you again. And today I want to talk about Peter Gabriel and his alleged fling with a pop star who referred to herself as being his weekend. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say this word this early in the video. It starts with P, ends with Y. And I'm not talking about a kitty cat. His weekend blank. So let's do it. Now, a lot of you probably know Peter Gabriel came to fame in the early 70s as being the front man for prog rock group Genesis. He gained fame for his outlandish on-stage costumes and his lengthy between-song stories. In 1975, he embarked on a solo career which fused elements of prog, punk, new wave, pop, and later world music. His early hits included songs like Salisbury Hill, Games Without Frontiers, and Shock the Monkey. Now, he'd reach his commercial apex with his 1986 album So, which featured hit songs like In Your Eyes, which was on the Say Anything soundtrack with John Cusack. We all remember that famous final scene where he holds the boombox over his head. Other big hits were a song called Big Time and Sledgehammer, the latter two, which feature groundbreaking music videos which were in heavy rotation on the MTV. Now, the latter song, Sledgehammer, would later be sampled by rappers Third Base in their diss track against Vanilla Ice that they wrote called Pop Goes the Weasel. And it would be during the recording of So where he'd first hook up with British songstress Kate Bush. Now, he'd invited Bush to duet with him on the song Don't Give Up after his first choice, American country star Dolly Parton, declined his invitation. He wanted Dolly Parton to sing on the track. She declined, so he took Kate Bush. Bush might be mostly well known for her 1978 hit single in the UK, Wuthering Heights. And the two would be rumored to have a romantic relationship. Now, in October of 1990, Gabriel was set to perform at the Amnesty International benefit concert to be held in Santiago, Chile. It's there where he'd meet Irish singer Sinead O'Connor. Now, he'd invite O'Connor to sing Bush's parts during the song with him during his set, the song Don't Give Up, which wound up being a highlight from the event. Now, O'Connor was riding high from her smash hit Nothing Compares to You, a song originally written by Prince. She recorded a version of it, had a huge hit. And you know, I knew a lot of guys in high school who were way into Sinead O'Connor, that bald chick who sang Nothing Compares to You. They were way into it in terms of her look. I mean, I liked the song, you know, I thought she was doable, but I think I was probably more into, well, I know I was really into Mariah Carey at the time and Paula Abdul as far as looks-wise go, but I thought O'Connor was okay. She was really talented, and that song was really good, so, you know, I could see how some guys could be swept away by her Irish brogue. Red Hot Chili Peppers frontman Anthony Kiedis tells a story in his memoir, Scar Tissue, about how he basically fell head over heels for Sinead O'Connor. I guess they had first met at a music festival in the early 90s, and then when she moved to LA, they had a relationship that he described as mostly being non-sexual. He alluded to the fact that they did a little petting. I don't know how heavy it got, but apparently he had talked about that he would have married her right then and there when he met her, but by the time she was ready to move out of LA, she basically kicked him to the curb. She said, hey, I'm moving out of LA. Don't try to call me. Don't try to contact me. We're basically done. Kiedis was heartbroken. He even wound up writing a song about the relationship called I Could Have Lied. He went so far as to make a cassette tape recording of the song, and as cheesy as it sounds, he put the cassette tape in her mailbox, and apparently he never heard from her. She skipped the country, took off, never heard from her. I don't know, maybe Anthony Kiedis should have tried the boombox trick. Maybe he would have had more success. But you know, I gotta be honest, I took a little pleasure when I read about how Sinead O'Connor kicked Anthony Kiedis' ass to the curb, because if you read Scar Tissue, you know, in that book he's kind of braggadocious about all the success he had with women. You know, he almost makes it sound like that he was basically able to have whatever woman he set his sights on, you know, and I've never had that kind of success with women. In fact, quite the contrary. So, you know, I took a little pleasure when I read that passage in the book about O'Connor kicking his ass to the curb. You know, I got a little rush of schadenfreude on that one. But anyways, I guess he wound up running into her again a couple years later at what he described as some stupid MTV award show. He saw her in a limousine with Peter Gabriel. They exchanged an awkward hello, and that was pretty much it. Apparently, Gabriel was more successful, obviously, than Kiedis was in terms of getting with Sinead O'Connor, as the two would become allegedly involved in a romantic relationship, according to Sinead O'Connor. Now, Gabriel was divorced from his first wife at the time. He had invited O'Connor to sing on his 1992 album Us on 2 tracks called Blood of Eden and Come Talk to Me. Now, O'Connor would give her account of the relationship in her 2021 memoir called Rememberings. She said Gabriel didn't treat her with respect and that she felt like his quote-unquote weekend pussy. Now, in an interview with The Guardian, she said she was really hurt by Gabriel because he chased me for about a year as if he was madly in love with me. She goes on to say, and this is from the Smooth Radio website, she goes on to say, he was the type of dude who you'd be away with and he'd put a note under your door to tell you he's just about to go out on a date with another girl. And then she went on to say, and he'd get you down for the weekend and then say, you know this isn't going to go any further. So apparently, according to her, they had a fleeting relationship. He basically broke her heart, but she said later on in the article she doesn't want people to think poorly of Gabriel because of her recount in her book, saying, to be fair, he also has a great tenderness about him. The relationship supposedly came to an end, but after the relationship had ended, apparently she did join his tour in support of Us for a few months, providing vocals before being replaced by Paula Cole. O'Connor would later go on to write a song about her alleged fling with Gabriel called Thank You for Hearing Me from her 1994 album Universal Mother. Of course, Sinead O'Connor would pass away tragically in 2023 after some tumultuous years. But that's a topic for another video. But I hope you dug this one about the alleged fling between Sinead O'Connor and ladies' man Peter Gabriel. He seemed like a ladies' man. I mean, Kiedis tried to get with that and he couldn't make it happen. And Gabriel seemed like made it happen. And she was basically just his weekend ass, you know, or weekend fanny, as they might say in the UK. Weekend pussy, as Sinead O'Connor so eloquently put it. But I hope you dug this video, and we'll see you next time.
Who's here?